Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Please also share this video via social media and with your friends via email. Thank you for your support. Today, I read several financial news articles. I've included links to the articles in the description below. I encourage you to read the articles to support the authors and news sources. As a private American citizen, I'd like to report and share my transformative thoughts through commentary regarding small sections of these articles that are of public interest. Today, I read an article on thestreet.com written by Patricia Battle titled, "Why People Are Suddenly Desperate to Get Rid of Their Cars." As per the author, Americans appear to be facing an auto loan crisis. According to new Google data, Americans are searching "Give Car Back" at record high levels, which was first spotted by an eagle-eyed user on X, formerly known as Twitter, called @GuyDealership. I find this very interesting that there are a lot of people searching for the terms "give car back" on Google. Unbelievable. Perhaps vehicle loan delinquencies will be a bigger problem than what has been reported in the news recently. According to this article, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York found that auto loan delinquencies hit 7.3% in the second quarter of 2023, which surpasses levels that were not seen before the COVID-19 pandemic. The author goes on to say that a report from Lending Club shows that 62% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. I am not surprised that some everyday Americans may be looking to get rid of their vehicle so they don't have a large payment anymore. Many may have been tempted to buy their dream vehicle when money was cheap and easy in the past few years. Many of these people likely took on 60, 72-month, 84-month, or even 96-month vehicle loans. After the new car smell wears off, the vehicle payment remains. I am sure it gets depressing to have to worry about that large vehicle payment every single month for years to come. I truly believe some may be at the point where it is just not worth it anymore. Many may be looking for a way to get rid of their vehicle without it trashing their credit. Many won't be able to sell their vehicles because they are in a negative equity situation. Unfortunately, a lot of everyday Americans paid over MSRP in the past couple of years, and even those who tried to save money and purchase a used vehicle often ended up paying far more than what that vehicle was worth. I think reality is finally setting in for some everyday people who went out and purchased an overpriced vehicle in the past few years. They may be having buyer's remorse now and trying to come up with a solution. I'm curious if you know people who overpaid for a vehicle or overextended themselves in recent years. If so, tell me about it in the comment section below. Here's a depressing article that I read on Yahoo Finance today, put out by USA Today and written by Daniel Device, titled, "If It Wasn't for My Boyfriend, I'd Probably Be Homeless. Seniors Face Rising Debt." According to the author, among Americans 75 and older, 53% carried debt in 2022, compared with 21% in 1989, according to the Federal Survey of Consumer Finances released this month. Among people aged 65 to 74, the share with debt rose from 50% in 1989 to 65% in 2022. Americans are carrying debt across a broad range of categories: mortgage debt, home equity lines of credit, car loan debt, credit card debt, and student loan debt. In my opinion, this is not a good trend, especially since so many people have little money saved for retirement and inflation is on fire. I am terribly afraid that many older Americans are going to have a very difficult time in the decades to come in this country. Understand that this is not the case for everyone. There are some retired people who have a lifetime pension, a large retirement account, and they have a home that is paid off. many of these individuals are very comfortable. Unfortunately, it is the haves and have-nots in this country, and that gap seems to be getting wider as the middle class erodes. I am not alone in this thinking. The author of this article references Josh Hodges, Chief Customer Officer at the nonprofit National Council on Aging, who said, and I'll quote, "I'm here to say debt increases the chance you'll age into poverty." That is a scary thought, ladies and gentlemen. Often when I turn on the television, I hear about the homelessness problem that is occurring in many large metropolitan areas around the United States of America. We don't need this problem to potentially get worse. I am afraid that some people may not realize how big of a problem they have on their hands until it is too late. The author of this article goes on to say most concerning to many researchers is the rise in high-risk debt among seniors, especially credit card debt. The share of over 65 households with high-risk debt rose to 43% in 2019 from 25% in 1989, according to the recent study by the Center for Retirement Research at Boston College. 30% of over 75 Americans carried credit card debt in 2022, compared with only 10% in 1989. Here's why this is so problematic from my perspective. The Federal Reserve has hiked their Fed funds rate 11 times. Now the level of interest being charged on this credit card debt is extremely high. This credit card debt is dangerous at the current levels of interest. This debt can get out of hand very quickly. When older Americans reach an age where they can no longer work and they're on a fixed income, finances can get tighter than they might imagine. When that happens, reality sets in, and then that reality is not a happy one. Some older Americans may be able to go back to work, but others may not have that option. If you can't go back to work and you have a mountain of debt and a small fixed income, it may be game over for you. Someone in this situation may have reached the end of the road. This is not a pleasant thought, but it may be the reality for some Americans. This story mentions Liz Herringer, who is 60 years old and has $70,000 in student loan debt and $2,800 in credit card debt. And she is in a situation where she is struggling to make her payments. She has been living on $13,000 a year in funds that she has been withdrawing from her retirement account. She said, "If it wasn't for my boyfriend, I'd probably be homeless or living with my sister." She isn't able to work because she has osteoarthritis, a degenerative joint disease. Remember when I said some people reach the end of the road? Well, that is what has happened with this unfortunate woman. This is very tragic. This is why people shouldn't be keeping up with the Joneses. This is why people shouldn't be going into debt to impress their friends, coworkers, and family members with their purchases. People need to plan for their financial future because your friends and coworkers aren't going to take care of you when you are old and struggling financially. Your family members might be able to help unless they are in a bad financial situation themselves. Some people need to wake up and realize how serious debt is and how important it is to plan for retirement years. If they don't have a plan, they should seek help from a qualified professional in good standing who puts their interests first and foremost. This is simply too important to ignore. What do you think about all this? Do any of you have family members that are living with you because they can no longer afford to live on their own due to poor financial planning? If so, tell me about it in the comment section below. Here's another interesting article from Fool.com written by Maury Backman entitled 3 in 4 Americans Feel Financial Stress. Here are 3 ways to ease your mind. According to the author, 74% of Americans say they're stressed about their personal finances these days, and 37% say they're very stressed, according to a recent CNBC survey. In my opinion, it is scary that this high percentage of Americans are stressed about their personal finances. What is happening here in America? The author of this article offers 3 ways to break the cycle. Number 1, know what your bills look like. so you know how much you are spending each month, and then you can find ways to cut back. In my opinion, many people don't take the time to do this. Many people just wing it and end up in debt. I believe everyone should set a budget and then stick to it. If you can't afford to purchase something, then don't buy it. Under no circumstances carry credit card debt from month to month. If you have an emergency, this is what an emergency fund is for. This is not what a credit card is for that you can't pay off at the end of the billing cycle. Unfortunately, too many Americans live for today. Too many go out and spend money that they don't have because they feel entitled to certain things in their lives. Number 2 on the list, build an emergency fund. This article references financial experts who suggest enough savings to pay 3 months worth of expenses. I think 6 months to 1 year would be a lot better. If our economy gets bad and you get laid off and you have a hard time finding a new job, you will be glad that you have 6 months to 1 year worth of savings instead of just 3 months. I am afraid there may be some young people here in America that have grown far too comfortable because they are able to easily find new employment whenever they need it. That is not always possible during lean economic times. If we enter a deep, ugly recession in this country, some companies may lay off human capital in order to prop up profits, and some of those people in certain industries may have a difficult time finding employment. Having an emergency fund with adequate savings is so important in my opinion. Number 3 on the list, make a plan to pay off credit cards. In my opinion, this is huge. Credit card debt is toxic and dangerous and can snowball out of control. Get rid of this as quickly as possible. Live beneath your means and make personal sacrifices so you can stop paying these greedy credit card companies. This might mean cutting out vacations for a while, cutting out dining out for a while, maybe picking up a temporary side hustle to bring in more money. Do whatever is necessary to get out of credit card debt before it puts your financial future at risk. What do you think about all this? Are you surprised that 74% of Americans say they're stressed about their personal finances? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please keep in mind, nothing in this video is financial advice or advice of any kind. If you need advice, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Please also consider sharing this video via social media or via email with your friends. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. Check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.